Hi, my name is Maddie Yab, and I'm from the 4-H group, the Rainbow Riders, and I'm going to start talking to you guys about my horse's conformation and how it affects her job as an eventer and a jumper. There are many aspects of Gracie's conformation that make her well suited for her job as an eventer and a jumper. One of these things is her horse Gracie's head comes high out of her shoulder, so she moves uphill, and so she's better suited for jumping and dressage. And another thing about that uphill is she has more prominent withers, so there's a greater chance that she will carry herself with a desirable uphill balance, and she does do that. Another thing is that Gracie doesn't have an awe neck or a crusty neck that hinders her ability to flex at the pole. So that helps her with dressage because, of course, she has to flex and have a lot of flexion in her neck and other areas. Another thing that might not seem like a big thing, but definitely is when you are running cross country, is she has very large nostrils, which is very important because she needs to have a good lung capacity in order to gallop long distances. Another area that definitely makes Gracie well suited for her job is her loin, which influences the horse's athleticism. And it should be broad and round, and hers is pretty round and broad. It could be a little rounder, but it definitely has enough athleticism in it that she can jump those higher jumps. One aspect of Gracie's conformation that make it difficult for her to perform her job is Gracie appears to be cowhocked. When looking at the stifle, her toes are turned out in front. She still appears to be tracking up in all aspects, and she does not seem to paddle or dish, which is definitely a good thing. She also doesn't have interference with any other legs. And although her legs seem to have a certain amount of rotation, she still seems to be moving normal or in a straight line, and that's what you really want. How does Gracie's conformation affect how she moves at the walk? Well, she's definitely cowhocked, so this might affect her balance and her ability to track up. As you guys can see, she's a little sluggish, but she does track up, and her tempo is rather consistent throughout. Her trot's not very springy, but and usually that's related to how properly sloped her shoulders and her pasterns are. But because she's a quarter horse, they don't really have that much of a springy stride like a Arab or maybe even a thoroughbred would. Another thing is she does have quarter horses and thoroughbreds should have a long, smooth stride that is very flat with little knee action. And as you can see when she trots, she has a good knee that's definitely working, but it's definitely not used like if you were to watch a Arab or a Morgan horse or something else. As you can see, Gracie is definitely, she looks pretty balanced when she's cantering. She has a lot of flexion in her neck which helps her a lot. She's not really she's moving forward quite well, and she's definitely tracking up. Her tempo is pretty even throughout the entire cantering, and she's her length of stride is related to her long forearms and gastions, and because she is a pony, her forearms and gastions aren't that big, so that's why her stride isn't that big, I guess you could say, or long. Another thing is, again, not to be trying not to be repetitive, but again, she's cowhocked, so this might have an effect with her balance, as she might be turned out and trying to come in, but she's doing a pretty good job of keeping herself nice and balanced. So, collected, natural, and extended movements are often used in dressage and other types of patterns. The collected canter is when the horse moves a bit forward. It's marked by the lightness of the forehand and the engagement of the hindquarters. It's categorized by supple, free, and mobile shoulders and very active hindquarters. In this, the horse's strides are shorter, but the canter is lighter and more mobile. The natural canter is a pace between the collected and the extended, and it is for a horse who's not yet trained for collective movements, and it pretty much just shows that the horse is balanced and remains on the bit. The next is the extended movement, and this is when the horse covers as much ground as possible, but still maintaining the same rhythm. He lengthened his strides without losing any calmness and lightness as a result of great impulsion from the hindquarters. In this, the rider should allow that the horse remains on the bit without leaning on it, lower and extending his head and neck, and the tip of his nose pointing more or less forward. And those are all the movements. They can be shown in a walk, a trot, or a canter. I mostly said canter just because in dressage that's mostly what they're used in. So I'm sorry. To B and to C, now that I've analyzed my horse's conformation, some jobs that she might do well at because of conformation and temperament is jumpers, because of the length of her back, she's very well suited to turn quickly, and also because of her head comes high out of her shoulder, so she moves more uphill, so she's better suited for jumping. So that would be definitely something that maybe I would consider doing with her. Also, temperament-wise, jumpers, you're not really always on their face, kind of like you're not holding them back as much like dressage you are. And just knowing my horse, she gets a little frustrated when we're doing dressage, and you can tell because she starts acting naughty and she just doesn't want to do it because, but jumping she really enjoys, so I think jumpers she would like to do that. Also, she rushes her fences sometimes, so maybe jumpers would actually be easy for her. Something that my horse wouldn't be good at would probably be barrels or speed or of any sort, because although she does have a powerful hind end for jumping, she does not have really powerful hindquarters that would allow her to start and just keep going really, really fast. She doesn't have that, which is partially why I don't think eventing would be good for her, because although she does have the jumping aspect and she does have the basic dressage training, because I have been working on that with her, cross-country wise, she doesn't have, as you go up in levels, your time decreases, and she doesn't have the length of stride that I would need her to if I were to say go up to prelim. She also doesn't have the jump, and that comes from the powerful hindquarters. Well, I think that's about it. Thanks for watching.